Welcome back to the channel. So today I've got the G30 M550i xDrive in black sapphire. This was a customer ordered car and they backed out, but it's a fairly well equipped M550. This is the last of this generation G30 chassis, so it will be replaced in 2024 model year by the G60, and we'll probably find out more about that in the coming months. But this is the last, the M550s. It's got the V8 N63 4.4 liter twin turbo engine, 523 horsepower and 553 torques. Let's talk a little bit more about this build here. So this is the LCI, last of the LCI versions of this one. So we got the shadow line package, blacks out the front grills. The halo lights, these will be replaced most likely by something that looks like the 3 Series LCI. Sort of like an L shape here. I think that's similar to Audi's daytime running lights. Over to the side, we have a pretty good design here. The 20-inch style 846M wheels, which gets you the performance run flat tires. Got the very large red M Sport calipers as well. So bi-color, sort of like a flowerish star spoke design here with some blacked out elements. Now we'll take a step back and take in our M550. So only available in xDrive. So this is the, can't say poor man's M5, but sort of that idea. So it's got a lot of power. It's got the same amount of torque. It's comfortable, probably more comfortable than the M5. So maybe like an M5 Lite. We do have a few more of these M550s coming in, including 2 in individual colors. I'm blanking on one of them, but one of them is mode or fashion gray. There's our xDrive M50i badging in cerium gray. Taillights look pretty good. Then below we have our quad exhaust and our faux diffuser. The diffuser is like a gray-black. But I really like this design of the 5 Series. It's sort of like an evolution from the F10 5 Series. A very classic-y 5 Series design. I think works really well. So we'll see what the G60 brings. And maybe this becomes the M560. So I'll have to wait and see, but most likely it'll be replaced by some plug-in hybrid performance model. All right, so let's take a look at the inside and go over options. So opening up, we are greeted with black Napa leather. Of course, it's blacked out. That's what a lot of you guys like out there, black on black. I would have gone for some contrast and maybe a few different options. I think one of them you want to splurge with the dynamic hailing package, which gets you the active roll stabilization, as well as integral active steering and M professional suspension, or M adaptive M professional. All right, in terms of seating, the seats are really nice. They're multi-function seats. Have some white piping. You do have some extra controls. So this button here on the back rest here is the upper portion of the backrest you can adjust. So side bolster adjustment, lumbar support, and we've got our crumb catcher adjustment. So you can catch as many crumbs as you'd like, even though you're not eating in the car, it will catch crumbs. That's what it does. On the inside, we've got iDrive 7 Live Cockpit Professional. See our M550i badging in there as well. So this will be replaced most likely by iDrive 8.5, which is going to mimic what iDrive 9 looks like. So we're going to skip potentially 2 generations, or skip to a second generation. So the G60 will skip the iDrive 8 and go straight to iDrive 9-ish. So a bigger screen here, This will be replaced most likely by a curved display. And our fine line ridge wood trim here gives a nice luxurious feel. The exec package also gets you ceramic controls, so this iDrive controller does have some nice heft and feel to it than what you'd normally get. So gear selector, last of its generation here. This will of course be replaced by the nub. Our climate control buttons, which have become obsolete even in this style here. LCD screen showing you these things here. Adjustments here can be made. That's gone away really already. Alright, so M Sport steering wheel. Looks okay. Got the paddle shifters in the basic configuration there. You can get M Performance ones as a port installed option. Alright, so let's go over the pricing and options. So the starting price of the 2023, although I think this price is different now with the increase announced starting January 1st production, so obviously this was built before that. Just under $80,000 to start. Paint is included, $1,000 for the Napa leather, $500 for the Shadowline package, $800 for the parking assistance package. The exec package is another $1,700. Then we got the 20-inch wheels for another $950. We got the heated steering wheel for $200. Now that's sort of mind-blowing that it's a separate option on the M550. Why isn't this part of the executive package? If you forget to check that box, you don't get a heated steering wheel. Ludicrous. $500 for the front ventilated seats. Everything else is included. We did add wheel locks to it. All told, MSRP of $86,665. Now the sound system that is included is Harman Kardon. Bowers & Wilkins went away in 2022 and has not made it back to the 5 Series, including the M5. So if you want Bowers & Wilkins, it is not available on the 5 Series, no matter what guise you want to spec. All right, let's take a look at the back. All right, so here's our back seat. We're going to hop in here. Now, I did pop the hood because we're going to go take a look at the N63. Now, this is what your moonroof looks like. So I imagine this will be a bigger panoramic glass panel on the next 5 Series. And here's your view from the back seat. So legroom, knee room, pretty good. And of course, headroom is really good as well. Nothing to complain about in the back seat. And no climate control functions in the back seat, which is odd. All right, but, you know, back seat, plenty of room, plenty of comfort. Can't complain too much about it. All right, so moving to the back, what we can do is use our kick to open feature. And a pretty good sized trunk, not as cavernous as the 7 Series, and because this is powered, you can also do kick to close. All right, we'll make our way around to the front of the car and take in our black sapphire metallic on an overcast day here with the sun sometimes peeking through. We are in between storms here in California. Vastly unusual the last couple of years, but we're getting tons of rain. All right, so here's your N63 4.4 liter V8. This has been around for quite some time with different iterations of the N63. So I imagine if there is an M60 or an M560, this will be replaced by the S68 that is also in the X7, the 7 Series, and the XM, and most likely in the M5. I can't imagine B&W is going to waste the S68 and not put it in the M5. Of course, that will be a hybrid setup as well. But 5 Series looks pretty good. This is it. Last of this generation. Last of the N63 V8. We'll have a few more coming in, and we'll see you at the next video.